Hey, it's Nurse Sean again. How are you? I just wanted to just log in about our first day in nursing school. Our lecture was our first class, and it was fairly uneventful. It wasn't a whole lot of information. We went over to our handbooks, went over a few things there, what our schedule was going to look like, things that they expected us to do, some of the procedures, and some of the ways that they take tests, where we're going to be, things like that. We did go into a lecture pretty much about um, the history of nursing and things like that. Nothing huge, nothing significant or anything. It was a pretty light day. It's a 2-hour lecture. I got there like an hour and a half early, and there were people already there, before me, just kind of sitting there and kind of spacing out. And we actually have a class before us. So the way our school works is there's about 120 people who get accepted, and then they split those group into two. They kind of ask you, do you want morning or midday? They start at 8, and then or you can start at 11. So my group was the second group. I've been calling them the lunch bunch, um, but and we got a pretty good group there. I know a few of the people there, and one of the people that I know actually sat next to me, so that's kind of cool. So I have at least someone to kind of bounce things off of. Don't feel like awkward. Um, so there's about 60 or so people in the room. Pretty decent sized room, but we filled it, and the lecture, was pretty decent. It was nice to kind of like ease into it, so you're not throwing a whole bunch of information all at once. So, um, it felt like a normal class, really. Except for the topics. It could have been any class at this point, which is good because you want to kind of get in there and kind of get a feel for it. And you were able to, tape the lectures, so I did do that. And the lecture was only the last half. The really first half, we mostly just talked about procedures and stuff like that. So I'm not really feeling like it's nursing just yet, but the topics were, of course, a little bit on the nursing side, but like I said, it felt like any other class at this point. Um, but people were real nervous. You can tell it in their eyes and their face. Looking around, seeing what was going on, who they knew. It was kind of like that. Even the teachers were kind of do that, or the professors. They were kind of like searching out people that they had already known through the process. But I did get to meet my advisor. I got to meet, some of the full-time staff, and what the expectations were for the next, 8, 12 weeks. What they were going to do at lecture. I did learn a few things about lecture, and for the clinicals and things that we're going to be doing for the clinicals and things you need to do, going to the hospital, getting IDs, things like that were extra. Also, there were some extra stuff that wasn't really clear in the syllabus that was given to us over the internet because you really don't know how to kind of read it yet. And there were some things that I had missed. I really thought I had it down in my head exactly how we were gonna play things out, but as it turns out, there's some things where you have to go on your own time, like to the hospital. They had extracurricular stuff. They do a class on how to learn, what your learning style is, and how to best study for that. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna make sure I hit that one. There's like 3 or 4 of those things just this month that are going to take extra time on top of the time that for your lectures and labs and stuff. So that was kind of cool to see that. Um, Tomorrow we're going over the PPE, which is the personal protection, all that stuff before in class, before our labs, so that we're kind of like ready to go when we get in there. Um, the homework, they really don't check on your homework. So, they're expecting you to be adults and do the stuff that you need to do and know what you got to know, otherwise, you're not going to pass. So, I guess I'm not all surprised about that, but it was a lot of work to see, nobody's checking on it. It's kind of like, oh, you know, but I have to stay true and I have to go after it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Other than that, not much more else to really, say. So I will probably do another one at the week's end, and then I'll probably have a lot more to give you. But basically in a nutshell, the first day was not a big deal. It felt like any other class. So if you're having anxiety about your first class, don't. It's nothing. So uh, talk to you probably the end of the week, and give you an update on how that all rolled and anything new. Okay. All right. So Nurse Sean checking out. I'll see you later.